Hey everybody, Derek here with Minute Maintenance. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a third brake light on your Gen 1 Raptor. I don't think this would work on regular Raptors, or regular F-150s, sorry, but I'm not sure. I know the Raptors have some marker lights up top, and so it probably wouldn't have the harness for that, but I've been wrong about a lot of stuff before, so I'm not sure. I bought this one from Rad Designs Offroad. It's a 3D printed third brake light that they coat with some really nice like undercoating type stuff. I got mine with the NMO antenna mount. It comes with the 2 amber lights in it, and then it's got a cargo light. I think these are the cargo lights, and then your brake lights, marker lights are here, and there's 3 of those. Doesn't look like too bad of a job to do. You can get these without the NMO mount if you don't plan on running like a UHF, VHF radio in your truck, or if you're just sticking with like a handheld jobber. But I wanted to, eventually I'm going to get a nice 50 watt radio. For now, I think I just wanted to get it so that I'm ready for when that time comes. They've gotten expensive. So it comes pre-wired with everything. It comes with the harness for the NMO, comes with the harness for the aux lights. So pretty much just going to be taking the old light out, popping a few panels to run our wires, hooking up the lights, plugging everything in, making sure it works. Let's get started, guys. Okay guys, so obviously now we're on top of the truck. First thing we need to do is take out our old brake light. Just a 7mm bolt. And there's 2 of them. Got one there and one here. Okay, so next thing we need to do is disconnect our light, obviously. For these, you just you just twist a little bit, pull them out. And then for this little harness, there's a clip on the bottom. Squeeze and pull, now that's free. Now for our harnesses, I'm just going to get them started. If you're running the antenna like I am, the right angle connector is what's going to go up to the new brake light. So the straight end, I've got an adapter on mine, but this end is what we're going to feed through. And we're just going to push it right through that hole where this other harness came through. And then this is the harness for the aux lights, the yellow lights. So the bare end wires, that's what you're going to push through that same hole. And now we're going to go inside the truck. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this plug out and then those 2 clips. You've seen me use these before if you've watched some of my videos, but it's just a nice trim removal tool. Just gonna get under there and pop that out. And same with these ones. Those are long ones. Then after that, inside this hole where we took that plug off, there's a bolt. 7mm as well. Okay, that fell. But that allows us to pull this away a little bit. As you can see, I just kind of push it towards the middle. And we can pull down on this. And we're gonna grab our harnesses. And start pulling those through. Carefully, of course. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go outside the truck and hold on to these, but I'm going to feed those wires through. I don't want these to catch on any of those sharp corners, which would obviously cut our wire and we'd have to redo it all. But I'm going to pull them through until those connectors are just a few inches away from where my brake light mounts. Okay guys, I got my harness pulled all the way through, as you can see. Next thing we need to do is actually tuck it. We're going to run it along the top here. There you can see. And on top of this trim panel. And then make sure it gets tucked up on top of your headliner, which we'll kind of adjust more later as we put it back together. But there, I know it's hard to see, it's not sticking out anywhere. I've got it back behind my panel. There you can see them. So we're just going to kind of push on it, get it inside there. If you see these clips, I'm trying to get it on the back side of those clips. Yeah, the truck's messy, I know. So we're gonna just keep getting it in this panel. Bet it gets a little tight at the bottom. Then this just pulls up. So get your fingers under there. Once you get one of the clips up, then move your fingers down and keep pulling up. So now we can get our wires tucked in there. We're just going to run them along the harness that's already there. And I'm going to clean all this up before I put it back together. Now this spot, we should be able to just lift up on our panel a little bit and just get them stuck underneath there. Like that. Then we'll come over here and we'll do the same thing to this. And then same thing, get our wires tucked underneath here and just run them along with this harness. So I'll get that tucked in. At this point now, what you do with your antenna cable kind of depends on where you have your radio mounted. I know some people like to put them in their center consoles. So if you have yours in your center console, you could run the antenna cable underneath the carpet over to your center console and then run it up. Because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with mine yet, I'm actually going to just kind of run mine up and let it sit in my glove box for now. So we need to finish running our cables up here. We're going to pull this off. So if you open up your glove box and you just push in or pull in on both sides, you've got access, real easy access to everything back here. Okay, so there's your fuse box cover right here, just pulls right off, and then this cover here, if you just pull towards you, then that comes off as well. If you look up here, it's hard to see. These wires here are all for your aux lights. Maybe I can get it better on this side. So this bunch of wires are for your aux switches. I've already got a chase light hooked up in the back, and I've got hood lights mounted up, so I've got a couple of them already hooked up. And what I'm going to do is actually take this brown wire, and I'm going to use that. That's my aux switch number 4, and that's the one I'm going to use to power my new chase lights on our brake light. In order to do that, we're just going to cut this wire, strip it, and then butt connect the other wires onto it. Okay, so here's our ground wire, and I'll show you on this how to I guess butt connect things. The kit, along with the butt connector, came with a small ring terminal, and we're going to use this ground that's already there. So in order to do this, and I'll show you on just regular wire strippers because they're super cheap and be the only thing you need. But on here you can see different numbers. These are for different gauge wires. I'm going to guess this is a 12 gauge, so you just feed your wire through the length you want to strip, give it a crimp, and twist the pliers a little bit, or strippers, sorry, and then pull, and there our wire is stripped. Then we're going to twist all of the strands together. We're going to take our ring terminal, put it on the end. If it's sticking out, that's completely fine. It's a ground wire. And then again on our wire strippers, you see we've got different colors. This top one's supposed to be red. These are real old. And then blue and then yellow. Obviously, they match the color of whatever it is you're crimping. So blue ring terminal, we'll go to the blue hole, get it set in there, and just squeeze it down real tight. And then we're going to just give a little tug on the wire and watch how it pops out. And that's why we tug on them, to make sure it's a good connection. So I just opened the hole back up, which you can do with a pin or like a pick or a punch, or screwdriver, whatever you got. Push it back through. And this time we're going to use the red hole. There we go. So then we're going to take this bolt out and put it underneath that. And this bolt's an 8mm. Right, sorry about the starter. So get the bolt out, put it through your ring, and bolt it back up. Make sure you get the wire back in or underneath the bolt that was there before. But just make sure you run your harness kind of up behind. I would go behind your fuse box when you run it up. But all of that should be hooked up. Now we're going to go back up to our tail light. And before we start plugging stuff in, we need to take our light bulbs out. They just pull. Okay. So this plug goes to the one that you pulled off the brake light. Make sure you get it lined up correctly. Should hear a click, just give it a little tug. And then where you had your light bulbs, they're going to get hooked up to these. There's two of them. A little bit of a struggle to push that in there. So can't really see. But if you look inside there, those silver contacts, I just widened them a little bit with my screwdriver to make it easier. Okay. And then these two plugs go to our new aux light harness. One of the pins was a little bent, so I just moved it over. So now what I'm going to do is put the truck into I'm just going to turn the key on and see if my aux lights come on, if my brake lights work, and if my cargo lights work. So there you go. You see my cargo lights came on when I opened my door. The aux lights are on when I flip the switch, and my marker lights are on. I don't have someone to see if they come on when I hit the brakes right now, but I will test that. So before we start putting this together, we need to, these clips need to go where those holes are. So try to line them up and get them to stay. Probably push that through. And then we need to push all of our wires in. And hook up our antenna, and this just goes obviously on the mount and screws in. So now we'll push our wires in. And with the hardware they provide, just put your washer or your bolt through your washer. And we'll get it started so that a little bit's poking out the back of our tail light. And these bolts are a 1/4 inch head. I don't want to screw into my harnesses at all, so take the time to make sure that they won't be in the way. Well, there you go, guys. Another really easy job, and it looks way cooler for one. For two, it's going to be super functional because those chase lights, when you're off-roading, you want them up as high as you can. So, you know, when you're at the bottom of a hill or someone's coming up over a hill, those chase lights up as high as they can be makes it a lot easier for the person behind you to see you. So where I had my chase light was mounted on the bed rail, and it worked well, but it's just a lot safer to have it up higher, and this just looks a lot cooler in my opinion. Obviously go back through, put all your panels back in, your trim, which just line them up and push them down. Put that bolt in the trim panel at the very rear. Get your headliner put back up there, put your pins in. Just make sure you're not going to pinch your harness anywhere. My aux cable, I think I said, I'm just going to roll it up and stick it in my glove box for now until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to try to hook it up to my handheld and see if I can get better reception with it. I don't expect it to work better going out, but if I could at least pick up a little bit further than just my handheld inside the truck, then I'm going to be happy. Real sorry about the quality of this one, guys. This was a difficult one to do by myself without having someone holding the camera with all the weird angles and everything. But obviously, if you have any questions, leave them down below. The company that makes this, again, was Rad Designs Offroad. They have a really good YouTube video on how to do it too. They pretty much just kind of like tell you, like, this is what you do. It also comes with some instructions that are very good, so if you can just read them and figure out what to do, then you'll be golden. Hardest part's getting the aux light hooked up to the switch, really. So hope you guys like this one. If you do, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, tell all of your friends. Again, good or bad comments below, questions, I'll answer them as quick as I can. Other than that, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.